Hello, my lovely students. Welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful spring break where you didn't worry about anything and you just slept in and relaxed and took really good care of yourself. And I hope that you're invigorated and ready to go for our last 7-ish weeks together. First thing I want to do is just go over the survey results. Thank you to everyone who has completed that survey, just kind of letting me know how things are going. I spent a lot of time thinking about all of you and worrying about you and wishing that I could actually see you face to face and make sure that you're doing okay. So I really just appreciated getting to get a little glimpse into how things are going for you and hear how you've been engaging with the physics material so far. So thank you to everyone who's done that. If you haven't filled out the survey yet, I do still want to know how you're doing. You matter to me as well. So please feel free to hop on and do that attached to the last assignment before spring break. Anyway, I want to talk about a few specific results from that survey that I saw. So I know there's a lot going on and a lot of you are feeling really overloaded. So I've been really concerned about the amount of work that I'm assigning for physics. So here were the results when I asked how much time you were spending typically on a given physics class, and 30 to 60 minutes was about my goal, and it looks like the majority of you are there, with most of the remainder of you spending 60 to 90 minutes. So that seems reasonable-ish, especially given that when I asked if the physics workload felt good to you, the majority of you said, yeah, it feels like it's just about right. That being said, there's a number of you who are spending, upwards of an hour and a half on it. There's a number of you who are feeling a little bit overwhelmed, if not due to physics, then due to other things that are outside of my control. And so I do want to try to reduce that down a little bit. So just as a heads up, I'm going to try to drop the workload down a little bit. My goal is really for you to be spending about 30 minutes on physics per class session, enough for you to feel like you're continuing to make progress and learn things, but also light enough to be respectful and mindful of the other commitments that you have, as well as the fact that this is just kind of a stressful time and you're not going to be able to prioritize schoolwork the same way, and that's okay. So anyway, just so you kind of know what we're looking for, I'm going to aim for maybe 30 minutes on physics per class session, and you can keep giving me feedback and letting me know if we're getting closer to that sort of target number right there. Also really wanted to know what it is that you would be motivated to spend 30-ish minutes per class session studying. And the winner by far was certainly astronomy, with some of you continuing to emphasize, like, please, astronomy. So that'll definitely be showing up. And then coming in next were music and light, which are somewhat related to each other, at least conceptually. So that's all pretty consistent there. So I think I have a clear idea of where I want us to go for the remainder of the year then. So anyway, here's our plan. So we've got about 7 weeks together, not counting finals. I don't know what the plan is for finals, but whatever, we'll deal with that later. So 7 more weeks of instruction, 2 units that we will go through during that time. This next unit, we will focus in on waves. All this time we've been talking about like matter and bodies and things like that, particles and objects. Now we're going to talk about waves, which are a little bit different from some of those other things. And as it turns out, both sound, like music, and light can be modeled as waves. So we're going to kind of address both of those interests together in this unit. And then our big grand finale will be astronomy. We'll get into that and talk about what stars are doing and how they're powered and the Big Bang and all of that stuff. So that's kind of the direction that we're building towards at this point. I know there were some other things that people were really interested in, physics of dance, quantum physics, thermal physics, modern physics like wormholes and antimatter, forensic physics, all sorts of really interesting ideas that people were putting out there. So I'll try to put some things together for you if you're interested and have the time and motivation to go through them. But that being said, I just want to put in a little plug there that if you're really interested in something like the physics of dance, if you take AP Physics 1, they're going to talk a lot about those sorts of things. So just an FYI. And if you're interested in quantum and modern physics, AP Physics 2 has you covered on that one. So I'll do what I can to kind of start sating some of your curiosity there, but there are so many other classes and so many other things that you can be learning beyond this course. So just wanted to remind you of that and let you know what else is out there. Okay, so then moving forward, we've got 2 more units. And for each of those units, then, I'm planning to assign another project for you. So that means 3 total projects throughout the course of our distance learning journey that we have been on. So that includes the speaker project from before break, and then 1 project for each of our remaining units this year. Now, as you saw in the updates from admin, all of the work that's being assigned here is going to give you opportunities to be boosting up your grade. And so just to kind of give you a sense of what the plan is there for physics, so each of these 3 projects assigned during distance learning is going to be counted as extra credit toward your grade. So if you are totally swamped, unable to continue working on physics, I get it, your grade isn't going to go down, but if you can, then I want to honor that with some extra points in the grade book. And I've calibrated everything so that each project has the potential to raise your overall grade by 2.5%. So we take that times the 3 projects in total that are being assigned during distance learning, and that means if you complete all 3 projects and do your revisions as needed to get the full credit on that, your grade can go up a total of 7.5% over your progress report grade. So if your progress report grade is currently at an 82.5%, then you can, in fact, bump yourself up to an A by the end of the semester just by completing these projects and the revisions faithfully. There are still test corrections, or not test corrections, test retakes available for you if you would like to take advantage of that. But I'm hoping that people will be kind of focusing in on the projects. I'm hoping it'll be fun and creative and a way to kind of keep digging into the applications of the physics that we are learning. We will continue to kind of have the same general format for the class where we've got investigations, we've got Edpuzzle videos and notes and practice for you to be using to hone your skills. Keep submitting those on Google Classroom. I don't intend to be entering those into the gradebook at this time, but I do expect that you need to be keeping up with the classroom in order for me to look at and evaluate your project, because all of those things are necessary for you to be successful on the project. And so I don't really want people to just blow off all of the other stuff, not watch the video lectures, not do any of the practice, and then just show up with a project, because I kind of don't trust that project is going to be all that great. Basically. So I do expect you to continue working on the classwork if you would like to submit a project for an opportunity for extra credit. All right. So speaking of projects, you've already done your speaker project. That's great. Our next project, as we get into waves and sound and light, is to build your own musical instrument, because music is good, and especially in times when our souls feel a little heavy, music is just, it's healing, it's therapy, it's a good thing. All right, so we're gonna have you build a musical instrument, understanding how the physics of musical instruments works, how waves travel and are produced by musical instruments, and all of that. So we're gonna have you build one, and it's gonna be a little rough and rustic, and it's gonna be great. I do expect that your instrument is gonna be capable of playing a full major scale, so that does mean like drums and things like that don't count for this, unfortunately. Sorry to all of my percussionists. I love you, but this is not gonna work here. All right. Now I recognize that I previously said you weren't gonna have to build anything, at home, and now I'm like, shoot, I lied. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't realize this would be happening. But the good news is we've done this project in my class many years before, dating back to 2012, and it turns out that you do not need fancy equipment to build a musical instrument. I have seen lots of successful musical instruments built from all sorts of ordinary everyday items that you hopefully maybe possibly already have around your house, like plastic drinking straws and rubber bands and cups and things like that. Just to give you a little idea, unfortunately I haven't been taking pictures every single year, but I did take pictures of musical instruments that were produced for my class the first year I ran this project back in 2012. And so here's a little sampling of some of the musical instruments that were produced by those groups. We have like a trash can lid and a rubber band was one, or a bunch of drinking glasses. That's a classic. PVC pipe, but you could do it as easily with drinking straws, etc., etc. So I'm hoping that there will be a few different options, and I'll provide you with additional guidance as we progress through this unit for how you can be making use of the materials that you have at home to try to build a musical instrument. If there's something you really want to do and you just don't have the materials for it, email me and I will like get Amazon on it for you. Okay, so I don't want that to be a barrier for you. I want you to have the opportunity to try building a musical instrument if you would like to. And yeah, that's it. So that's kind of what the next month or so is going to be building towards for us. I'm so excited to continue going on this journey with you and have us talk about waves and music and light and how it's weird and all of that. So stay tuned and we'll keep on working through this. Thanks, folks. Love you.